Welcome, everyone. We are going to be starting in about 3-4 minutes, and we are making moving toys. Easy, simple things to make that move. Children love anything that they can create that is going to move. So I look forward to seeing you all in about 3 minutes. Get your coffee and get your nice warm blanket and get ready for some fun. Welcome back. We are about to start with our lesson. We're just waiting for some of our participants. We have 8 or 9 people coming into class today to take part in what we are doing. So I really look forward to seeing all the people as they come in. Sometimes not as many come in as they first say, because it is late at night in America. For me, it's 12 o'clock midday, so it's very easy to be up and about at this time. We are due to begin to making our moving toys. Children love making things. They love it even more if what they have made can move, because it's all very well to make something and then it just sits on the shelf, but if I can make it move, if I can get it to move with my hands, or if it can move by itself, then it is awesome. It is exactly what they are looking for. And so with this, they are really able to have some fun, and the sky's the limit with their imagination once it has been made. So I'm looking forward to teaching you about just some simple things like rockets. Rockets are awesome. Also things like bows and arrows, not using something that can hurt, but still be able to shoot something. Catapults, a lovely thing to make with children. That's another thing we'll be covering today. So there are a vast variety of things we will be using in class. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. If nobody comes in, which can happen, I will then just stream live, and you will be my audience. It really doesn't matter to me who is watching and who is learning at the time, because every time we learn something, our brain adds an extra connection, and so our brains stay more active. So it's great to be able to join together and do things. Right now, I think I want to just wait a minute or two before sharing my screen, simply because it's easier for me to see people now rather than when I'm sharing. So I'm hoping that it's getting warmer for all of you in America. For me in Australia, finally, it's getting a little cooler. Beginning of this week, we had some really hot weather, 103, 104, according to you. Now, at least we are down into the 60s, which is a lot cooler. It definitely makes for a better way of life. I don't like the cold weather, so I'm very glad we don't get too cold. But it is nicer to be cooler than sweltering with the 40 degrees for us here. Now, I'm going to share my screen, even though nobody has come in yet, because it will be great when they do join us. Let me go into a presentation quickly. Right, oops, we've gone too far. Right, today we are doing a boredom buster. We are doing moving toys. And with our moving toys, we are creating things that children can have hours of fun with. They are then able to get things to fly, to move, to do anything like that is awesome. And you can put a variety of things into each other in order to make them fly, such as your catapult in the picture here. So let's begin. Oops, I've lost my screen here. Right. Get Set Up helps you to learn useful skills. From people, I learn things in every lesson. The people interact with me and I'm able to learn new things from them. We learn from each other and ideally we can see you on camera because then it is an interaction. If we can't, well, then we just have to be as we are. We can request a recording afterwards if you are in the class. So if it's late at night and you can only watch for a while, you are able to request a copy of it and watch it at your leisure the following day during hours that are of convenience to you. If you are joining by live streaming, the best way to participate is to join us and register for a class. Get Set Up isn't paid to promote any products. So if I mention anything, it's just something I use. It's not something else. Now, a little bit about me. I'm Sue Murray. I live in Perth, Australia. I've been an educator for many, many years, 44 years. I still educate today, but I enjoy my Get Set Up classes where I'm talking to my peers. That to me is really awesome. I enjoy creating and making things, including puzzles, and I have a love of animals, a great love of animals, particularly wild ones, although I have two of my own little dogs here. That's why I do my lessons on wild animals of Africa, because that's where I come from. I've only been in Perth, Australia for 3 years. And then I also do a talk on wild animals of Australia. Most of all, I enjoy being a guide. I keep changing my presentations all the time so that I am able to do them. Now, here are some of the ideas that I am going to be introducing during my lesson today. We're going to learn about rockets, catapults, crossbows, vehicles, wheels and axles, monster munchers, robotic arms, and dominoes. So there are lots of things that are going to be seen during this lesson. One of the first things that we can do is to very easily take a box, any box. And once you've got your box, you are able to put you call them popsicle sticks. You cut your popsicle sticks into different shapes, and then you are able to put them in different directions. Just make sure you don't make the holes in between too small. Otherwise, your little ball or whatever you've chosen will not be able to fit through all the different holes. And your idea is to try and get the ball out at this end here. And if you can do that, it works wonders. So let's just need to stop sharing for one moment now. Myself again. Sorry, I just needed to check on something because nobody's come into class, which is very unusual. So I just went to check on that. Right, now we would talk, so it is working. Hi, Michael, thanks for coming into class. Right, we are busy building our maze. A maze is wonderful. It keeps children active all the time. It's an amazing thing to do, and you are able to then get them to be able to work with it. Hold on. I've gone back. I want to share my screen. I want to share this one. Right, my screen is not allowing me to see myself again. I could see myself earlier, but I've disappeared again. So that's fine. As long as you can see me, that's okay. So we've got our popsicle sticks. You put them into different places, different shapes, and from that, the children can then choose the right size ball. I use beads because this is a miniature so that you are able to see it. But the best thing to do is to use a shoebox. Shoeboxes are wonderful. They're just the right size, and you can use marbles for those. So it really makes it so much easier to be able to do it. Now, our introduction is we've got simple things that we're going to use, and those things are going to be able to be used. That was my husband that popped in just to check that the link is working, because at the moment there are 10 people booked, and this is quite strange that nobody has come in. We've got scissors, elastic bands, straws, tape, sucker sticks, pegs. You use them called popsicle sticks. Pegs, you call them clothes pegs. Earbuds, buttons, split pins, paper fasteners, and Google Eyes. Now, some of the things we will build are very, very simply built using just your popsicle sticks and elastic bands. They go to make wonderful toys. First one we're going to look at is a balloon, and you blow your balloon up first, and then you attach a straw. If you attach a short straw, it is not as stable as a long straw. A long straw is a lot more stable. It allows you to then have a good trajectory up your piece of string. Your string can be right across a room. Depending on the size of the balloon, it will go all the way across or half the way across. They can also experiment with bigger straws and smaller straws, or fatter straws and thinner straws. Which one is the more stable and allows for a better flow? But boy, these balloons fly far, and the children love it. They go and fetch their balloon, bring it back down, blow it up, and let go. This is a game that can be played for many hours. They also play it and then leave and then play it again. So it's very simple and easy. You also can build a rocket using a fat straw. I've just taken a piece of, you can use cardboard. I've used thin plastic that was a cutting mat. I bought a pack of 5 and I really only need 1. So the others I've been cutting up and using for things that I want to make. I just use 4 of these to make it nice and stable. You can use 3 or 4. It's entirely up to you. And then at the top, you make sure that it's closed over. I used brightly colored sticky paper and then a piece of sticky tape around it just to make sure, because you don't want the air going out. Once you've got it ready, you then take a thinner straw than that straw. You place a straw inside and you blow. And off it's gone down the passage. So then they can have different games to see who's can fly the furthest, how far do they fly, which ones go high, which ones go low, which ones go straight, depending on how you have started it. And they really enjoy that. If you've got it on a firm surface at the edge of a table and you blow, it seems to have that extra bit of push to get higher than before. You also have your, where's my next one? This one. You build a very interesting rocket. This rocket, the thing that takes off is your earbud. Your earbud is shot. So you take 2 popsicle sticks, stick them together, and 2 others, you stick those together. Different colors always makes it nicer. You place the one set of popsicle sticks on top of the other so that the top is shorter than the bottom. Once you've done that, you then take 2 buttons and you put them, they're not only for decoration, they're also there to hold your elastic band. And the stronger the elastic band you've got, the further your rocket is going to shoot. You then place you wind it round. If you look, you can see I've wound it round the button and along the bottom of the popsicle stick. I then have my elastic band here and I put my rocket into the straw that I have put on the front. I've got a nice fat straw on the front. I put my earbud, can't remember my words now, put my earbud into it. I pull my earbud back as far back as I can with my elastic band. I pull it back as far and then I let go. Wow, that went right up the passage. So the further it goes, you can rest it on this with the elastic band rather than trying to hold it, because if you've got a strong elastic band, it's quite hard. But if you pull it back with your elastic band and hold it flat against the popsicle stick and let go, away it goes and out goes your rocket. Using an earbud, you can't hurt others. It might bump into them, even if it unfortunately goes in somebody's eye. It has that soft cushioning at the front. But always get children to aim away from people. My rule always was, if you aim it at somebody, it's gone. You take away it and they don't have the option to play with it again. They very soon learn, if I want to play with that, I don't point it at people. And that way it makes it safe. A third type of rocket is a paper folding or origami rocket, a very simple construction of 5 folds, makes this kind of rocket. It's flat and then you pop it open. It's got little feet that it can stand on. And then you put your rocket on the ground or on the table, take a bendy straw. So your bendy straw goes up into your rocket and whoops, mine's not flowing. So Oh, mine fell over because it's not on the ground. It's much better if it's on the ground. There goes my rocket up into the air and away it goes. Another one using just wind power, your own wind power to make it go. Right, you've got catapults, bows and arrows. Now, with catapults and bows and arrows, you are able to make amazing things. My first catapult is again popsicle sticks. 2 popsicle sticks joined at the front over a set of 3 popsicle sticks. You need to have something that's quite thick in the middle to give you that spring of allowing it to fly. So you've got your popsicle sticks, you've got where you're going, and now people are, you put a lid of a bottle on the top, and then you just pull it down and let it go, and away it flies. Now, let me grab something to fly. I have a little koala. He's a very willing koala who is prepared to fly. So let me just take him off the band that he's on, and we can then fly him. Oh, why doesn't he want to leave? He's decided to stay put on here. Why? There we go. It's not undoing. Okay, let's take it apart that way. Then it will definitely part company. I can now loosen him. There we go. I have a koala. I can sit my koala in my, he's a very happy little koala. He's sitting inside. That wasn't clever. I didn't close it fast enough. There he sits. Close it and let go. Away goes koala. So it's a lovely little catapult. Again, can't hurt people. You can use cotton buds, you can use cotton wool balls, you can use little balls of paper, anything that's nice and soft, and you can send it flying all over the place. There's a bigger catapult further down for the more advanced, for the children to be able to do. And there's also a catapult made with just 2 pencils and an elastic band inside a tissue box. You can also make it fly. Bows and arrows, that bow and arrow in the top corner there is made just with a piece of tubing and a strong piece of string, and you can pull it back. That is one where you do have to be careful, and they have to have a place where they can go and shoot their target. If you don't want them to have to do that, then play with a simple one. Your popsicle stick, you make little grooves in the top and the bottom here. Put your piece of string into it. Tie a knot at the back. Grab what you want to make it fly, attach it to the back, pull back, and oops, away it goes. That's not a very good one. Let's take this one. He's a better flyer than the other one. Pull it back and whee, there it goes down the passage again. I'll have to go and collect all my bits afterwards. You can also shoot marshmallows. You can shoot all sorts of things so the children can have fun. Right, now wheels and axles, the sky's the limit with that. They are covered in a further class of moving wheels because it is such a big subject. What you can do is using 2 straws and a couple of skewers. You can attach big wheels, small wheels, and an elastic band. By releasing the elastic band, it then makes the wheels turn and away goes your vehicle. You can also just use 2 paper plates and you can roll some string around them. And if you pull that string fast, the paper plates take off down the passage. Toliki, I don't know the English word of that. It's an African word that we use, where you use a cotton reel and an elastic band through the cotton reel. On the short side, either a cut-off matchstick or a paper clip will do, as long as it doesn't stick out over the cotton reel. And then anything big on the other side. And that then makes this thing go round, and that's what actually turns. The pencil or the pen turns and goes down the street or down the pathway, down the table. You can use your popsicle sticks to design a vehicle and then add wheels to your vehicle. Collecting your bottle tops is an amazing thing to do. Collect a whole lot of bottle tops, and then you are able to really get going with your bottle tops as well. Now, let's have a look and see. We've also got when you're using cogs. And cogs are amazing things. Children don't realize that one thing can make another thing move, can make another thing move. And so your cogs, you just take some of that corrugated cardboard, put it around, you can even put it around a big lid, plastic lid, or just around another piece of cardboard. And then you can make small ones and big ones. And by turning one using just a long pin for the board pin, you can then make different ones move and turn. And they can go all the way up and actually make something go out the other side. So you can do all sorts of ideas, but it teaches them this is the beginning of how your bicycle works. Bicycles have got gears. If it's a small one, it goes quickly. If it's a bigger one, it moves more slowly. And so you can experiment with your cogs as to what they do and why they work. You can also work with just bottle tops, and you glue on your popsicle sticks. And then again, the popsicle sticks, as they touch each other, so they will then make the other things move. And you can make them vertical, you can make them flat. They don't have to only be flat. And they can see it'll go up the side of the box, down the side of the box. They can create all sorts of things where if they just turn one, then these ones on this side move and these ones on this side move. And wow, I don't have to only start at the end to make things move. And so they experiment. Then they see, okay, how can I use that? I could use that to make this. I could use that to make that. And now they start experimenting for themselves to make things that will work. If they are wanting to know, how do our curtains open and close by themselves? By just pulling on one thing, your blinds go up, your blinds come down. Why? How? Where? How does it all work? That is your pulley system. And a simple pulley system that you can build is just with two longer toilet rolls. I use the ones from your roller towel, a straw, bendy straw to make your handle that can move. Oops, I've just taken that out of its container. Let's just push it back inside. I'll just leave that one loose. And he pulled out because I bent him, sorry. Now it can go round and round, and you are able to see how a pulley works. It goes down, it goes up. How does my pulley work? If you don't have a reel like this, just go to the local haberdashery shop or any shop that sells ribbon. And when they sell it by the meter, then you ask them to keep the rolls for you. They keep them very quickly, and within 2 days you can go and pick up 2 or 3 rolls from them. Or what I do is I go and look at all the rolls, and I find the rolls that have only got a little bit of ribbon on it, because I use it for all sorts of things. I'll buy the end of the ribbon. I'll take what's left on the roll, which is usually not very much, and then I get the rolls as well as some ribbon. So I get a combination if I'm going to be making things using ribbon, which I do for the tin can one. There's lots of things that I use ribbon on for that. And then they learn a pulley system. Now, another simple pulley system is themselves. They can be a pulley. You take a little round plastic bowl, put 2 little holes in with some string, and underneath you take some magnets, little pieces of magnet. You can either buy it by a flat piece, or often in our post, we will get a notification of electricity, water, lights, or you get it from the local housing estate where they are selling homes. And those ones, when I'm not finished using them, I chop those into little pieces, strips or circles or shapes or whatever I want. And then I take those pieces and stick them on the bottom of the container. Then once they are there, I then can use the paper clips underneath, and you become the magnet. You lower your little bowl, it picks up the or the paper clips, carries them up. You are the pulley system. You are the start of a crane. Now, a crane is a pulley system. What sort of crane do they want to build? Why do they want to build a crane? What do they want to pick up? Do they need a big container, a small container? Will they need big magnets, small magnets? Would they maybe just lower it, pick up things, put them inside, and then take them to the top of a building? You could set the children tasks like, here is a building, and you just take a box and you say, I want you to be able to take all the things that are on the ground and put them on the roof of the building. How are you going to do it? They then build their crane according to what they are going to do. They might only build a little crane with a very long string on it. That's also fine. They put the crane on the top of the building and they go down and up, or they build a very tall crane that lowers, and when it gets to the top, it's at the right level for the building and people can unload. So there are lots of different ways. There's no right or wrong answer for any of these. It's the using of the mechanism, and their imagination is what makes it so special and so important. So it's really great to be able to do it. The last or second last of my things that I'm going to be showing you today is levers. Levers are awesome. I don't know one child that doesn't like a lever. Your little babies, they can just have a clothes peg as their lever. You cut a simple shape, give it a Google eye, and then open and close the mouth of the creature. And once you've opened and closed your mouth, that is dependent on where you attach it to the peg as to how wide they are able to open their mouths. So that's for your little babies. That's your first lever, using your peg as the lever system. There's your moving part of your peg that's making your lever system. Then you can go on to building a slightly more advanced version of that by taking pieces of paper or cardboard. I collect old cereal boxes, any boxes that things arrive in that have got a fairly thick cardboard. I keep those. I've got a box of everything out in the garage, and I slice them with my guillotine into pieces that are about that width, the width that I've got there. Thereafter, you attach you choose 3 places that they are joined in. You can do it with 2. This one I've done with 2, where I've only used 2 split pins per piece. You can also do it as 3 split pins per piece if I'm wanting to make an end to it. Here I don't. I'm using my fingers. My poor fish is upside down. And now my fish is able to, oops, he's lost his, there we go, close his mouth. Now his mouth can open and close, and he comes towards you. So now he comes and bites you. So you started with one that you can only go a certain distance. Now you've got one that extends, and he's able to come and take a nice big bite out of you. That is the second simple way of doing a lever. Your third one is to make your crocodile. Your crocodile uses 3 split pins per piece, and your crocodile is much longer, and he comes to bite the person at the other end. Can't harm people, it's not sore. If they shut it over your finger, you're not going to have them shouting because they are in pain. If anything, the cardboard will come off second best. But this is a lovely monster that they can make, and again, choosing whatever they want. The longer your pieces, the further it's going to be able to extend. Obviously, I've made short ones so that we can see them in the picture, but longer ones are great. They can really extend far. The next one we have is the final one, your robotic hand. Anybody who likes to have something that can grab, that you've made yourself, is awesome. You take your hand and you draw just bigger than your hand. I do give you a printout of this so that you know what you're doing afterwards. You have your hand and you go round your hand very carefully, but bigger than your hand, and you mark where your fingers bend, where each finger bends. So there's 2 for the baby finger, ring finger, pointy finger, and 1 for your thumb. And then I attach my strings with a staple at the top. Where's my robotic arm gone? There it is. I staple on my string at the very top. You then cut your straws small so that each of your joints has a straw on it so that it's able to make it cringe and turn inwards like this. So now you've got each one turning in. Mine have been standing flat for a while, so I'm just bending my little folds again on them. Now, threading your string through. If you do a different color string for each finger, it's very easy to see which finger is going to come in. I've got all the same, so I have no idea. That's my thumb coming in. This one is my middle finger is now coming down. This one is my pointy finger coming down. And so I go on my baby finger and I can pull them all in. Oops, which one have I left up? Left one of them up. There we go. I can now pull on all my fingers and now my hand is closing, except for my thumb. Just got to find out which one is my thumb. There's my thumb. My thumb can come in as well. So you can close off all your fingers. And the children love making a robotic arm that can open and close. They will, the first time around, it might not close as well, depending on what kind of paper or card you've used. You can experiment, they can experiment, whether thicker cards, thinner card, and so on, so that their fingers really come in very nicely. And also the size of their straws. You just sticky tape the straws across the finger, and that's how it all fits together. But it really works very well indeed. My last challenge today is your domino challenge. This is a fun exercise using just your popsicle sticks and clothes pegs. You attach the clothes pegs by just clicking them on to choosing the space where you want to put them, and you build a series of these. Then you do it like a domino. You press it, you let it go down, and it knocks the next one over. That's a bit boring. It's fun to build, but boring. Now, what you do is you set a course. You make it turn. You make it go up a little bit, down a little bit. Obviously not too much going up, but a slight uphill is never a problem. And then go downhill again straight after that. And see if they can make their own course or a course you've set. How do they get them to turn? Because going straight is easy, they're bumping each other. But if they're turning, Are they, how many do I need to put to make a turn? Or can just one make a turn? And so they will investigate making a domino run. So the domino challenge is to see how far you can make it run. And basically it's the same as you see in those fantastic places where they make all these dominoes. This is our version of domino run, and you can give them only a certain number, but they've got to make it turn and twist, or you can make it who can make the longest one, who can make the most amazing patterned one. So as they go up in age, so you change it according to that. And as they're going, they are able to do it. Right, that was what we had. There's a feedback at the end for anybody. And for those who are not live streaming, then you can get a copy of the recording. Those of you who are live streaming, I suggest you register, then you can get your own copies too, and the copies of what we are doing and making. I hope that you learned something while you sat watching us on live stream. Thank you so much for being part of the class. And I hope you have a good evening. Bye for now.